And of course, we will be going into some different realms, and I will be going into some different meditation. And I'm just happy that you are here with us. We're also very thankful, for the beautiful Sabbath that would have passed, and of course, the strength we would have all received. And of course, those who would have, kept such a day in such order and such vibration and such meditation, for sure, royal family. So again, give thanks for your presence with us. Again, I welcome you to the Tiger's Nest. Remember, this is Radio Anu, the international flavor, the universal spice. And this evening, we are going to be talking about empire building. So let us prepare ourselves for such. Blessed love, royal family. Honorable Priest Isaac here. I am inviting you to the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge Royal Business Webinar. It is about time, family, for us in the conscious space to motivate ourselves to become a more business-minded culture. Join us for 3 days, the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd day of December for a life-changing, I repeat, a life-changing experience. 3 p.m. each day, Radio Anu TV, YouTube, and Radio Anu International. For more information, visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. The Royal Business Webinar. I will see you there. Of course, royal family, just make sure that you are a part of such an event. Make sure that you are in the house with us on that wonderful moment, even that wonderful hour. So again, let me just make it clear to you, family. We are talking about the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd day of December. And we will be having, again, the Royal Business Webinar. Family, I must say, if we are paying attention, remember that we started off with our Mind Your Business program. I'm sure many of us can recall the Mind Your Business programs that we did. And the whole idea around the Mind Your Business programs, and let us just, put on the table, this was like maybe 4 years ago when we began that whole process. We had 2 solid seasons of the Mind Your Business program. But there was a specific aspect of the Mind Your Business program that would really fuel the program itself. And that had to do with, I would say, the cooperation. And that's the right word, cooperation, of the individuals who are in the audience who also partake in business. Now, interestingly, our philosophy is that we are all a business. Our philosophy here is that we all have something to sell, even if it's your time that you're selling to someone from 9 to 5. You still are a salesman or a saleswoman, whatever the case is, But again, the whole idea of the Mind Your Business program and just the philosophy is to really get those of us who are in the conscious space or the conscious community more adapt to the nature of business. And the reason why is really even the subject for this evening. Now, let me be clear here. We are also streaming live on the YouTube for the moment. I doubt that the full program tonight may be on the YouTube, but whatever the case is, let us be thankful for that wonderful family, the YouTube family. And remember, Radio Anu itself is really the home of the Tiger's Nest radio program, the Tiger's Nest international radio program, online program. The home is really Radio Anu, the international flavor, and the universal spice. Very good. Now, you see, many of us, all of us, really, to some degree, must have some sort of instinct as it relates to providing. This is where the basic thing, vibration comes from: survival and food and clothing and shelter. What people actually call politics, food, clothing, shelter, is really politics. Okay, what you eat and how the system runs, etc., etc. Now, we would have done a series of programs, even in the last month or so, previous month or so, directly dealing with economics on a historical level, on a geopolitical level, because those of us who are melanated people, those of us who are of the ebonite stock, those of us who are Africans, those of us who are Black people, just like education in general must apply to us, economic education as well must be designed to apply to us. So we cannot just look at our circumstances or look at our current state of affairs and just say, oh my, look at how we are. We need to get out of this. I agree. If we're in the miry clay, we need to get out of this. But you need to have an understanding properly, not only of how you got into this, because many would like to just forget and let's move on. No. You can't forget, because the reason, the circumstances that got you into this, more than likely are the circumstances that are keeping you, even at this moment, in the same miry clay, the same quicksand, sinking sand. Economically, I'm talking about. Talking about the rich getting richer and the poor getting poor. But we're not here to watch who gets rich and all of that stuff. We're here to strengthen ourselves as a people into empire building. Now, I want to be clear here, my royal family, that the upcoming event for not this Sunday, of course, we have a special event this Sunday. We have another free event this Sunday. We're going to have a free webinar this Sunday, The Rudiments of Ancient Astronomy. That is this Sunday, the 26th day of November. Enough things going on here, family, at the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. Listen, you got to make sure you check us on the Instagram. You got to make sure you check us on TikTok. You got to make sure, if you are business-minded, we are also on LinkedIn. And of course, the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge on the Facebook. So for sure, all of that is a part of the strategy of even growth and development to be everywhere. Because you're becoming a god, Oh, come on, family. This is deep. So remember, this Sunday, the 26th, we will be Ancient Astronomy webinar. And this is definitely a free webinar, looking for everyone to be a part of that, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. But now on the 20th, mark these days in your mind, the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd of December, not November, we will be definitely hosting a 3-day webinar, the Royal Business Webinar. And really, this is geared at developing or bringing the mind of our brothers and sisters to an elevated state. Listen, family, this is going to be a very serious event. I'm really looking forward to all of us gathering together for those 3 days of inspiration, of strategic, hear this, not just inspiration and motivation, but strategic planning going forward, business-wise and otherwise. Now, as a people, our mindset needs to be straightened out. So the first day of our Royal Business webinar, we will be dealing with the mindset. We will be dealing with your state of mind and your purpose. Obviously, you have to know your purpose, but that's what we will be dealing with. This is going to be the day of motivation. This is going to be the day of waking you up, at least to understand and comprehend your mission going forward. Because if your mind is not right, nothing else can be right. And this is very important. And then on the second day, we're going to be talking specifically, because it's a Royal Business webinar. It's not a feel-good conference that we're going to be having. It is not a motivation webinar neither. That is a part of it. That is very important to get you in the game, to get you psyched up for what you have to do. But then the second day now, we start to put pen to paper. Well, we would have been putting pen to paper from day one. But now we start to strategize. We're going to be dealing with promotion. We're going to be dealing with marketing. That's day 2. I hope you are with me, And then on day 3, we will be talking about sales. Now, when we had Patrons Day, we had a beautiful sit down. You remember, Rasta Roundtable met Welcome to the House of Priests. And we spoke on the topic of theology. And we also spoke on the topic of the state of our economy. Even while we were discussing theological matters, some of the members of the roundtable, of the panel, were very eager to get into the discussion as it relates to economy. In fact, ones were saying that there's no theology without economy. All the God talk and all of this, and we can't feed ourselves. We are wasting time. That was the sentiments of some on the panel. I surely can understand that. So again, it is obvious, family. This is what I'm showing to you. It is obvious that we are in the season where we can see that it is ripe for the discussion now. It is ripe for the reasoning on our state of affairs as it relates to our finances. Now, we as a people, what came out of that discussion on the economy was the whole understanding that we're not just dealing with paper. Paper may be money, and this is why the historical aspect of this is so important. Again, as I said at the beginning, with clarity, this is why when we observe, the state of affairs, for example, in IT, we did a program that's previous strong, what people call last week. And we had Professor Bello, and she was speaking of IT's position now economically, and how IT, which is called Haiti, was once its economy was backed by a certain amount of gold. I can't remember the exact amount of gold, but it had the gold back in its economy. And Uncle Sam didn't like that. And Uncle Sam came in and said, hey, let me tell you something, Toussaint. It wasn't really Toussaint. I was just using Toussaint to represent Haiti, or Haiti, as they call it. But Toussaint wasn't around anymore. And Uncle Sam said, hey, tell you what, let us take care of that gold for you. This is what Professor Bello said. She's the expert in the field. Eh? And for whatever reason, we gave Uncle Sam, that's US, United States, US, Uncle Sam, US, United States. We gave Uncle Sam our gold to go and put into Fort Knox. And according to the beautiful professor, up to today, we haven't seen not even a dust from that gold. You hear about the gold dust? Not even a dust. All that glitter isn't gold. Well, we don't care about what's glittering that's not gold. What about our gold? And now Haiti is celebrated by the devils as one of the poorest countries in the world. You can't have no real economic discussion amongst the descendants of the enslaved unless you clear out their minds so they understand their situation today. I'm about empire building. This is not about self-enrichment, but you see, many of us, we are afraid of self-enrichment. Somebody taught you to be afraid of financial growth. Somebody taught you to be mediocre in your thought because you are selfish. So when you are pretending that you are not greedy, you are greedy as greedy can get. You're wicked. Or just give me $1 million and I'm okay. You are a selfish, wicked person. Who taught us to think like that? Who taught us to be so uncaring to the rest of the world that we only want to satisfy ourselves? And some mediocre satisfaction as well. The mind, family. The mind has to change. And that's the first subject that we will be touching, or I should say topic that we will be touching on day one of the Royal Business Webinar, which will be on the 20th. So what is empire building? Huh? I just explained what's going on in Haiti. No matter what island they put us on and continent that they left us, and those who they didn't remove from the land, we are all one people. Just like you are concerned about your mother, and you're concerned about your father, and you're concerned about your children, you should be concerned about not just cousins and auntie, but your neighbors, your community, your state, your city, your people in general. I mean, it doesn't stop there. Yeah, it doesn't stop there. There are some mosquitoes here trying to suck my blood. I mean, I'm even concerned about them. You know, even the animals we care about. What are you talking about? So the love is is broad, but it begins somewhere. Charity begins at home. You understand? So that is why now I want you to follow what I'm saying. Good enough, because the Bible speaks of, the Psalms speaks of, when the prince is wealthy, the people shall rejoice. So if you are a prince, meaning that, and prince, princess, you know, it's not really prince in that sense. It means that you are the crowning jewel. You are the physical manifestation of the solar orb. You're a holy being. You understand? You understand justice and reciprocity and balance. That's who you are. Of course. So when you control wealth, many families will be fed. When you control riches, children will be properly educated. because the prince has the wealth. But when the crook has the wealth, I mean, come on. He will take the wealth and do crookedness. So when we are afraid of wealth, that means something wrong with us. So what's your goal? Not goal, the goal. But it's the same word, eh? It's the same thing. Gold and gold. I'm not talking of soccer here. Your goal. Because remember, your goal is a big, to use the term, target. Your final target, if you want to call it that. But there is no final target because you continually move the goalposts. This is one game that you keep moving your goalposts. Listen, family, I'm trying to show us that we need to be able to think like the Most High God. The mind is supposed to be infinite. Your mind is not your brain. The brain seems to be the physical representative of the mind. The brain is about 2.5 to 3 pounds. The brain is inside of your cranium. Your mind is in the deepest corners of the universe. That's where your mind is. Some of us, we're not aware of that because we are concentrated in what's happening outside the window. The concentration is within our, as they say, what's in front of our nose. And it doesn't go too far beyond that, as far as our eyes can see. In fact, many of us, we don't even think as far as the eye can see. That's something else. Because we can see fire. We can see twinkle, twinkle, little star. But many of us, we don't think beyond, again, what's going on in the room where we are. So that shows us we are not using the capacity that has been given to us by the universe, the power that we have within ourselves, the mind. This is why we have been expressing in those programs the importance of understanding your gift, the importance of using your talent to create talent. I bring the story once again. The king gave 3 of his servants bags of talents and told the servants that he gonna make a move and come back. He gave one servant 5 bags of talent. He gave a next servant 3 or 2 bags of talent. He gave a next servant 1 bag talent. The one that got 5 bags took the 5 bags and went into the marketplace, went into the business place, and he took those 5 bags and made more talents, like about 10 or 20-fold talents, or whatever he did, but he did good. The other one that got 3 bags, he also doubled up, tripled up, quadrupled up. The one that got 1 talent, and I could see that the boss knew why he only gave him 1. He went and dug a hole and buried it, and then gave it back to the king when he returned, all dusty with mud on it, and saying, "Boss, I have your talent that you gave me." The boss punished him. And we equated the talent, because the talent now is not your ability to do things. The talent is literally money they're talking about. But because the Bible is very coded, because the Bible is very symbolic, because the Bible is very esoteric, before you throw it in the fire or throw it in the rubbish, let's look at this scripture, this parable properly. Because the talent now, which again is literally money or gold, talent, something that you can use in the business place to buy and exchange and get things, and its value can get you the goods that you desire, the service that you desire. Talent is like money. And they took it and did what? Business, and got more talent. Now I'm trying to show the family that all of us as human beings, we have our individual talents. I'm not talking about bags of gold. I'm talking about our talent, what you know as a talent. When we hear talent, I know we think about song and dance, tap dancing, and he can shoot the ball in the hoop. The dog can do that if you train him good enough. Elephants, you know what I mean? So the talent thing is a deep instinct that you were born with. That's why we do natal chart reading. Whether a person believe in that or not, because I know some, you know, oh, I'm not into them space thing, no stars and planets. That's up to you. Who feels it knows. I'm telling you, the alignment of stars with constellation, the sun and the moon at the time when you came out of your mother's womb has a lot to do with who you are. I am not asking. Remember, that's my work. I'm in it and I can see it. So we are all given talents. You better believe that. We all have specific abilities. Yes, I mean, yeah, you can jump and skip and dance and all of that. Sing. The fact that you can shoot a ball in a little hoop from, let's say, 30 feet away, shooting the ball in the hoop may not be your talent. That may just be an expression, pardon me, of your talent. Maybe your talent is keen precision. Maybe you're very precise. You know, someone's talent may be intuition, keen intuition. Some of us are mediums, meaning that we are literally mediums for spirits. You better believe it. Some of us have a better connection with the ancestors, the ancestral world. You know, some of us have the ability of speech, communication, negotiation. Your talent, the power to heal, the power to soothe, the power to calm. Some of us, we take up a specific art, yoga, Tai Chi, and we just become the master of it right away. Your talent. Wow, that tastes good. Ooh, where did you learn to cook like this? I don't know, I've just been. Your talent. So some people have 5 bags of talents. Some have 3, some have 1, some have 10. But the key is to take them talents, the tap dancing. Although that's not really the talent, but it can work. And make some talent. Gregory Peck and Sammy Davis Jr., these are tap dancers. And I know them man raking some good dough for tap dancing. But I'm not really keeping it on that simplistic level. I'm trying to show you that your natural God ability, which is not to tap dance, it's nice that you can do that. It's very skillful. But your natural God-given ability to be a God yourself, you're supposed to use that energy, them skills, that ability to create wealth. Wealth is not paper money, you know. Paper money just happens to be. This is why the mindset have to be clear, you know. Paper money with Queen Elizabeth's face on it, with Abraham Lincoln and Benjamin Franklin and these people faces on it. Paper just happens to be, in this capitalistic world, the first stage of exchange on your way to proper wealth. But when you reach to a certain level, I mean, paper money is almost obsolete. That's why you see the real super wealthy not even handling paper money. And you yourself, depending on how old you are, you can see that the world has morphed into a world where you don't even have to see the paper anymore. It's just numbers on a screen. Yes, good day, First National Bank. Yes, this is Mr. Jones. I would like to transfer $5,000 from my savings account to my checking account. Okay, Mr. Jones, it's as good as done. Nobody went into Nova. Nobody took out any paper and put this one over there. They just type it on a thing and it's done. That's why when you are very skilled in computer science, depending on what kind of mind you have, you can do a lot of things. What if you're with me? And technology and all of that. Where people can rob banks now. You don't have to put on no mask no more to go rob a bank. And stick them up and is the guard sleeping and all of that stuff. This ain't the Andy Griffith show. Times have changed. I wonder if the family is picking up what I'm saying here. Please, just be with the tiger. Because this is a very important message. We're not moving forward in the family unless we penetrate more than a white background. We're not moving forward. That's just a word I give it to my chief royal designer here, the Honorable Prince Almasi. He also, for those of you who are viewing on radio and on TV, also the creator of the poster. Most of our designs that we have here at the Institute is done by the Royal Prince. My Lord, give them a word there.
Blessed Lord.
Yes, so we give thanks for such, and even the beautiful video that the Royal Prince would have produced, those on those on radio. I know, listening to radio, I know may not see it for the moment, but definitely will hear it. Oh, that one is beautiful as well. You know, in fact, let me show it to those on radio and on TV so they could understand. This is a bit of the works of the Honorable Prince Almasi, but really, as I said, you know, family, almost every video that you see us produce here, almost every poster, most of them are produced by the young Olmec himself, the Honorable Prince Almasi. This is a beautiful one related to the upcoming event that I've been speaking about. Blessed love, royal family, Honorable Priest Isaac here. I am inviting you to the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge Royal Business Webinar. It is about time, family, for us in the conscious space to motivate ourselves to become a more business-minded culture. Join us for 3 days, the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd day of December for a life-changing, I repeat, a life-changing experience. 3 p.m. each day, Radio Anu TV, YouTube, and Radio Anu International. For more information, visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email us, priestisaac@gmail.com. The Royal Business Webinar. I will see you there. Oh, yes, Royal family. See, this is exactly what we are talking about. Give thanks to the Honorable Prince Almasi for even that beautiful rendition there. So just even returning to the conversation now again with full understanding, family, what I'm trying to say is that we live in a culture that has purposely taught us to think very small. We live in a culture that has purposely taught us to think mediocre. We live in a culture that has purposely taught us to think lesser than what we really are. That is the positive of it. And even as I said, as gods and goddesses, even at this time, it is good to understand, again, what is within us that needs to be activated, what is within us that needs to be expressed. what is within us that definitely needs to come out. So again, empire building. Why is empire building important? To me, it's just a natural thing. Are you building for yourself? You see, this is the bottom line, family. This is why I'm stressing that if you personally don't have the mindset of wealth creation, it's either someone dumbed you down from an early age, or you have a selfish mentality, or you don't understand your mission as it relates to what you have to do in this building of our nation and our empire. This is my point. We like to talk about we need to pool our resources together. But if you ain't got no resources, and he ain't got no resources, and she ain't got no resources, we all just have a heap of talk. When we come together, what's gonna happen? Nothing's gonna move. And we cannot pretend, listen to me, good family. Those of us who are mature and have been around for some time, we cannot pretend as if we don't know the reality that many a times you gather with ones that you may consider to be like minds. And if you are serious on your mission, many times ones may not have the same level of seriousness as yourself. And that is very dangerous, because I think we all know that whole science that you are the average. If you've never heard this, write it down. You are the average. And this is a fact. Let me repeat. You are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time around. This is why you should never, ever be in a group where you are the best. Huh? So if you are, let's just say, you're an academic. Yes, you'd like to be amongst individuals that you can share your knowledge with, and they will also understand you because they're in your field. But if you are growing, you want to be in a group where there are those amongst you that will help you to go up. They will pull you up the ladder because they are up there already. So if you want to master Tai Chi, you can't be the best amongst the 7 of you. You have to have a master amongst the group. In fact, much better if you are the least amongst the 7. And when you reach to the top of that, you find another 7 that have some other masters. That's how you grow. So if you're looking to be wealthy, if you want to be a millionaire, you can't hang around 1,000 years. Are you with me? If you want to be a billionaire, you got to go around the billionaires. You got to listen to the strategy of the billionaires. What do you think I'm saying? The reality. If wherever you want to go, however you want to soar, family, you have to find the company. And even if you cannot find the literal flesh and bone and skin human beings that you can aspire to be like, well, we live in a different time when technology is filled with the company that you want to keep. Technology is filled with the company that you want to keep. So in the same way, you can entertain yourself with music, because all of that, the people that your favorite singer is almost like your friend, That's one of your friends, because any chance you get, you listen to her. Any chance you get, you listen to him. The person that you wake up every morning to listen to, the preacher or the prophet or whatever, that's your friend. So if it's Reverend Ike, and Reverend Ike is giving you daily inspiration. And you visit Reverend Ike almost every morning and every evening. Reverend Ike has become a friend of yours. That's what I'm saying. If you're listening to them people on CNN, them is your friends, and you just watch CNN all day long, these are your friends. It doesn't mean you're going to be like them, because you're only seeing the part of them when they're reading the news. So you're just going to become gossip and paranoid and the fakies are attacking Hamas again. And that's where you're going to live, because that's what you're into. And then again, you're the average of. Average means you add everything together and then you add it and then you divide it by the amount that you added together. 5 friends, you add them together and divide it by 5, and that's you. So even when it comes to wealth, you just watch it. Come on. People group together is like birds of a feather flock together. Isn't that reality? So if you are looking to rise your status, you got to find your group. This ain't no joke, because this is not something that is going to happen overnight. Family, what I'm talking about, if you notice, I use the term family. And we all can relate to family. Many of us listening are the heads of our family. So that alone should just give you this natural drive to build and evolve, to make sure your family is fully secure. And you cannot do that no other way in this world unless you build wealth. Don't give me no religious talk now, Come on, man. We outgrow that. Unless you build wealth. So even before we get into the seminar on the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd of December, we have to be here preparing the mind even for that. Listen, let me tell you straight. You see the webinar for the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd of December. I'm going to be very straight with you, my brothers and sisters, who I love very much. The realms and the energy that we're bringing to that, some of us not even ready for anything like that. Because school and kindergarten and university and Sesame Street and General Hospital and the BET awards, all of these things has dumbed us down and have left us in a very ghetto, mediocre kind of mentality, even when we think we are hustlers. Even when we think we are chasing the rock. Even when we think we are blinging, we don't understand nearly what it means to be wealthy. Wealthy is empire building, not empire for you, What is an empire? An empire is run by an emperor. That's how it becomes an empire. Let me share something with you, family. And before I share that, let me share this before I share that. We all should have a goal. I can't tell you what your goal should be. And neither can you tell me what my goal should be. But a goal is supposed to be something so big that it almost appears to be impossible for you to attain this goal. Most times you ask somebody their goal and they give you a figure in dollars. That's okay. It's okay if you have a bigger goal for them dollars that you're calling, because money, dollars don't really do nothing, That's why Marcus Garvey say, we're going to see the paper floating in the wind and nobody running it down. They have certain money today. If you see it blowing in the wind, nobody running that. Just like how you may pass a nickel or a penny on the floor, 1 cent and 5 cents. Many of us pass these days. But it's money, but you pass it. But you pick up $100. And then there's certain money or monies, I think that's the right grammar for this one. There's certain monies, currencies that you may pass the $100 if you see it. You just don't got the time to bend down and pick that up because of what it is worth, where it is. So the paper really is not the value, it's what you do with the paper. That's why it's saving the paper doesn't help you. Making the paper work for you to see if the paper can make some children. That's how it works. So even that same mentality of putting money away for a rainy day, and you put it in the bank for a year and you get like a dollar, not a dollar, 1.5% or whatever. The maths has been done, The maths has been done. I think it takes you about 800 years to double your savings in any bank account. Because the percentage, the interest that you're getting on it is so little that it's going to take about 800 years to double that. If you make the right investment, you can double that in 8 days. Well, we all know that. I think everybody knows that. Not just double it, you can more than double it in 8 minutes. With the right investment, obviously. I mean, I know tailors that invested in face masks just when COVID started. I don't even have to tell you how they turned out. One fella bought a whole brand new van because of face masks alone. He can't try that now because it's gone out of style. He held on to the wave when it was coming. That wave, the face mask wave maybe lasted about a good 4 solid months. Well, if you follow what I'm saying here. So the paper money at the moment, as we are now, depending on which paper you're talking about too, has a certain amount of value. So it's about accumulating that paper, nothing wrong, and utilizing the paper to build assets. You follow me, family? Yeah. The paper can't help nobody. When the system that owns this paper falls, believe me, the paper going to die too. It's going to be like musical chairs, but assets won't die. Proper wealth won't die. In fact, wealth, depending on what the wealth is built off of, might get ruptured a bit when kingdoms and empires and nations fall. But solid wealth will stand. Just natural. So that is why now I am talking about empire building once again. My goal now, let me show you what I said I was going to show. My personal goal. I think I would have shared this already. Because your goal too, unless it's some big secret, is not nothing you should hide. Yeah. Yeah, you should know, be skillful with it. Some people, they have to be discreet with their goals because the moment you say, yes, my goal is to climb that apple tree, then you're done. No, mommy might come and say, oh, Fred, come on, Fred. I don't want you to go all the way up there. Let me go and buy an apple for you. I'm happy that you want to do that for, people will come and discourage you. Your friends, your wife, your husband, you know. But then now there's another level where you have to tell people what you intend to do. It actually speeds up the process. Yeah, man. Because when people say, oh, he always say he going to do that. Yeah. So it's on you now to do it. Now, my goal, and let me repeat again, that your goal should be big. In fact, you can have several goals, because I do have several goals, but this is the one I'm sharing. Your goal should be so big that it appears as if, boy, this is almost impossible to do. And when you're almost to the goal, move the goalpost. Make it bigger. Come on, man. And you know how you get to your goal? You create targets. So you have a target, maybe you have a target you want to hit this week. You have a target you want to hit for the end of the year. You have a target you want to hit for the next 10 years because you're working for the goal. My goal is to see the kingdom, the empire set by Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards established securely and efficiently on the planet. That's my goal. Now, although I just explained that, I don't want to offend no one, but I don't think anyone listening to me even has an idea of what I am talking about. I don't mean fixing up Bobo Hill. I said, this is way past that. I said, my goal is to see the empire, one may want to use the term kingdom, that King Emmanuel Charles Edwards would have established, the blueprint that he set down for us, established in the earth. So I'm talking about a real government. Listen, I'm not even getting into the spiritual, churchical aspect yet. I just talking about the statical, governmental establishment that has been left for us and we are to build upon. Give thanks for Kes Westmore. Give thanks for welcome to the House of Priests. We read the documents where King Emmanuel clearly shows that a tabernacle is supposed to be in every state of Africa. Where the church is, the government is. So I'm saying, family, we have a creed as Rastafari about the humble being fed, the naked clothed, the sick nourished, the aged protected, the infants cared for. I mean, come on, unless it's some beggy thing we're dealing with and some, trying to make an impression business we aren't. We have to have a kingdom to do these things. Real kingdom I'm talking about. Real kingdom. You see the ad that the Honorable Prince put together? Beautiful ad. When you watch the ad, you see the jet plane, the door closing up on the jet plane. I remember a time I did a program, something I talking about jet plane, and somebody in the chat, I think is a comment, highly offended. Highly, highly offended. Why we need jet plane and something? I say, here, this foolishness there. So why you need a car? I mean, just to show you how little we think. Why you need a car? Most people that tell you that, right? Come on, man. You don't need no jet plane. I'm sure you drive a car. Why you need a car? Well, I have to get from here to there. I don't need no jet plane. If I want to go to England, I just buy a ticket. So what's wrong if you have your jet plane, man? That's millions of dollars, man. And just to keep that on the runway, what are you talking about? So to catch the plane to go to England is £1,000. Well, that's just £1,000. That's relative. That's how you think. Is planet Earth lacking any paper money? I'm sure they printed some today. Is planet Earth, the world that we live in, let me put it that way, is the world that we live in lacking any of that paper stuff with these dead people faces on it? No. It has trillions, and I don't even think you can put a number to it, all over the place. So just to be thinking, oh, you don't need all of that. Come on, man. Selfish. Wicked. This is what I'm talking about, family. A jet plane. Rasta, we supposed to have international airports. It's not just a tabernacle supposed to be in every state. We supposed to have airstrips. We supposed to have international airports. We supposed to have a fleet of jets. What's wrong with our people? We supposed to have ships. It's 7 or 9 miles of high water ships the king talk about, And if they're not giving it, he would supply it, How you think we get in 7 or 9 miles of high water ships? We should be creating these same cruise liners. We should be manufacturing them. How many of us even think like that? To have a manufacture factory making ships to sail the high seas, not boats, not boats, not even yachts. Yachts too, but high water ships. These cities that you see sailing on the seas, somebody own them. They're all over the ocean now. They're dock. If I go and look outside on the veranda, I can see them in the harbor from where I am. Somebody own them. When they leave here, they go into some other island. One is leaving Norway. One is leaving South Africa. They're all over. People own them. Why we can't own them? What's wrong with us? It's so small, we think. We're not owning ships so we can cruise around the world. We don't want no jet so we can fly in style. No, man. This is a small world, as the song say. But it's not that small. You need means and ways to transport yourself and keep connection with your people. So listen, if we are to rise an empire, family, we're talking about an educational system. A system, not books. A system, infrastructure. So wherever this tabernacle rises, so a tabernacle rise here in Antigua, a tabernacle rise in Barbados, a tabernacle rise in Ghana, a tabernacle rise in Zambia, a clinic supposed to rise with that. A school and a college supposed to rise with that. A gated community supposed to rise with that. Buses and vans supposed to come with that, with our logo, because we have business going on. Of course, King Emmanuel has taught us to be diplomats. So no matter where we are, we have our ambassador that can approach the foreign minister or whoever it is of the land, whether the ambassador was born there or born there not, and make sure our status is correct in the time that we are living in. But you have to have economical power to move like this. Of course, everything is growth. So before you have the international airport, you have the international airstrip. Well, we can't do that. So you get a call right now from the president of Zimbabwe, Honorable Priest Isaac. Yes, sir. Thank you very much for the call. It's very good. I've been checking your works. I want to do some business with you and your Congress. Well, I'm very thankful for that, sir. Yes, whenever you are in Zimbabwe, please pay me a visit. My brother can be there in 7 hours. You see something wrong with that? Let me ask you. No, no, no. Let me see where your mind is. You see something wrong with that? It is the small mind that looks at these things and think they're looking at vanity and bling and something else. The big thinker actually sees the jets and the yachts and whatever as nothing. Because we have a bigger goal in mind. It's feed, we want to feed people, you know. We want to see our people housed. We want to bring poverty to an end. We want to end exploitation all over the world. That's our goal. And we're not dumb. We know that you have to be business minded. You have to have industry. You have to grow in wealth. You have to yearn for generational wealth if you intend to solve them problems there that you see your people are suffering under. So that is why you see me use harsh terms like you're selfish. If you just want enough for you and you just want to repair your mommy house and you know, just, you know, get a good second-hand Jeep and you are right. Them things have to be said. Just to think like that. When the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof, not no repair and no ceiling and no second-hand Jeep. The earth is the Lord's. Well, you may not, maybe not be the Lord's there, because the earth is the Lord's. So you feel comfortable just sitting back and allowing Joe Biden and Donald Trump and whoever run your place to gather together talking about they're gonna solve the problem in IT. You have all the knowledge. You're the one that read all the books on the Council of Foreign Relations. You're the one that know everything about what was his name? Uh, all of these killers there. You know everything. The CIA, the FBI, John Perkins, this and that, you know, Illuminati. We know all of that. We know all of this stuff. The UN, and we still sit back and watch the same news and allow the UN and allow the Council on Foreign Relations and allow the International Criminal Court and allow the International MF and allow, that's the Monetary Fund, and all of this. We just sit and allow it. Well, what can we do? What do you mean, what can we do? Money talks and them other stuff walks. This is what I'm talking about. Garvey, the Almighty, already showed us the black print. Idi Amin Dada fought the economic war. He showed us strategies as well and brought Uganda to a thriving economy. But prepare yourself for battle, you know, because you see how they deal with Idi Amin just because he rose the standard of his people. Every day they put up at least 10 videos about Idi Amin, you know. You don't have a short of videos about Idi Amin on the internet. There's no shortage whatsoever. I think he may be the most popular character as such that they use to make videos on YouTube. Every day you look, 2 hours ago, 5 hours ago, Idi Amin, the world's most evil man. Idi Amin eats his enemies. Idi Amin eats all his wives. Idi Amin, all kind of thing, and that will pass on YouTube. That will pass, eh? Nobody banned for these videos. Why? Because Idi Amin decided that he is not going the way of many African leaders and utilizing his power to kick out the Asians who were milking, as he put it, the economy of Uganda. He called it the economic war. So we have to have an economic war, but my family, it starts with you. It starts with you personally. And this is why we are hosting the Royal Business Webinar. Listen, family, this is really an act of love taking place here, because I understand all that I do will remain for generations to come. A lot of what you see us doing here, this is not just a program for tonight. You may be listening to this and then you may not hear this program ever again, but this is a seed that's planted and it will sprout. This will be replayed in the ears of many. This will affect many, and many will go and act on the words that has been said tonight and last night and the night before and tomorrow night and the next night. Because repetition is the mother of learning. So it is an empire, your goal. I can't tell you what your goal is. But my goal is to see my father's empire established on the planet. And I know it's not no wishful thinking and just fasting and praying and all of that. Give thanks for that. Believe me, that has brought us thus far and will carry us furthermore. But there's a certain level of action, a certain level of growth. We as especially as Rastafari and Bobo Shanti specifically, we need a lot of self-development. Because that's where it starts. You have to start with yourself. You have to invest in yourself. Many of us that say we are conscious, we're not ready to invest in ourselves. I'm telling you, we're afraid to invest in ourselves. You understand what I'm talking about? I ain't talking about food, you know. I mean, invested in yourself, invested in your knowledge, invested in your character. That's why you see us offer programs. That's why you see us offer services. Even to take the time, for example, the webinar that we're having in December, and even the webinar we're having this Sunday. These are free events. Just to come and pay attention is an investment in yourself. Even listening to us on the Tiger's Nest is an investment in yourself. But you have to go beyond that, yo. Your heart is in your pocket. Your heart is in your pocket. That's a true statement. That means that you spend money on what you think is important. Many of us, we go over what is important, like investing in ourselves. Investing in yourself is not to go and get a haircut. Again, investing in yourself is educating yourself. Proper strategic education too. Obviously, investment in yourself is investing in your health. I think we all understand that, because without proper health, without a good wellness balance, nothing else coming to you, because wealth is wealthy. Wealthy is wellness. In fact, the word health really is really heal and die. Health, look at the word health, heal, die. That's really what it is, heal, die, you know. But healthy, health, that's why sometimes we don't really push healthy, but well-ty. You understand? Good. So the empire building again, family, please don't lose track of what I'm saying here. Because many of us, this is almost like new to us. This conversation is frightening to many because we are afraid of wealth. We are afraid to grow. We would prefer to go and write a song about you're born in the ghetto and you're going to die in the ghetto because that's your mantra. Nobody want to change the ghetto. And who get a blind, they run from the ghetto. Well, that's good. Go and get around those that will make you grow. But don't forget your people in the ghetto. This is what I'm talking about. So when you're just thinking about your own little self, the mediocre thinking, many of us suffer from that. Hey, there are people that have millions and they still think small. I wonder if you follow me, man. And those who are not even nearly there yet, but they think bigger than them. So don't worry about winning no lottery. It's the thinking. It's better you have the right frame of mind than to win any lottery, because people win millions of dollars and within years, 5 years, 6 years, they come in and asking you for a loan. Millions, millions, because of lack of understanding how to manage and just the knowledge, of economics, because they wouldn't have taken the time to invest in themselves. In fact, that the millions that they would have won, if they were to take just a few of the thousands of that and invested into themselves, whether it's some sort of educational program. These programs exist, self-development programs, they exist. Economic programs, they exist. That's why we're having a free webinar on the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd. That's why it has to be 3 days. That's why even now I am beginning the process of preparing us for them 3 days. I can't just walk into those 3 days, family. Not with this conscious community here. Remember, the conscious communities on planet Earth, it's not Mars and Jupiter we're dealing with, We know who we are. We know who we are. We know who we are in South America, the Caribbean, North America, Africa. We know one another. Obviously, the fact that we are conscious, some of us have a vibes business-wise, is obvious. But as a community, as a unit, we are definitely lacking. Rasta for sure, I can tell you. We sleeping. Nobody, listen, if you're offended, that's a business. Me personally, let me get bold here. This is Priest Isaac. I am Rastafari. I can say anything about Rastafari, the movement. You can't come trouble me. No, man, I say Rastafari sleeping. Who can stop me? You as a Rastafari, maybe you personally not sleeping. You don't have to get offended at me. But you, if you are awake, as a group, come on, man. You think we would have elders when we did the last program there, the previous program, Rasta Round Table Meets Welcome to the House of Priests on Patrons Day. You didn't see how the elders were crying? We there talking about who is God. Mama Maisie come out and say, listen, family, I getting old. Where is the government that we're supposed to be building? Where's the repatriation program that we're talking about? All of our children born and we have to send them to this school and that university. None of the youth and them, hardly any of the youth and them staying to the tradition that their parents taught them. Why? Because we ain't got nothing to give them. You know what I'm saying? That's why empire building, again, is important. That's why we shaking off this mediocre way of thinking. So if you're going to be my friend, you're going to have to shake off that mediocre way of thinking. We as Rastafari, Bobo Shanti, playing around. I tell you, nobody can tell me nothing. There's one thing, I know my place. I know my place. I've earned my stay. I didn't just come to the party. I may not be the oldest head here, but I old enough. We playing around. I'm not asking for no second opinion. We playing around. And to me, if we're not playing around, we will take heed to even the message that I, Priest Isaac, can bring in. We need to get our mind straight. We need to get our purposes in order. Individually. If you don't have an individual mindset of wealth and prosperity and growth, how are you going to come amongst the group and add to the mission? Impossible. You're going to have to be one of those that just sit aside and wait for us to get it figured out, and then we call you. Empire building, family. Empire building. Yeah, give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life. Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Of course, as we say, if you know your Bible and you do not know your history, the knowledge of your Bible will become a mystery. And it takes some real eyes to realize the real lies that are amongst us. Yeah. Give thanks. Blessed love, royal family. Honorable Priest Isaac here. I am inviting you to the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge Royal Business Webinar. It is about time, family, for us in the conscious space to motivate ourselves to become a more business-minded culture. Join us for 3 days, the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd day of December for a life-changing, I repeat, a life-changing experience. 3 p.m. each day, Radio Anu TV, YouTube, and Radio Anu International. For more information, visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. The Royal Business Webinar. I will see you there.